So you've heard about collecting colostrum and maybe you don't know where to start, or maybe you have tried to start and it's not going so well. So I have 5 tips if you want to start collecting colostrum before you give birth. So before we dive into the details, I just want to make sure everybody is aware this really shouldn't be done until about 37 weeks pregnant, and you want to make sure to check with your doctor first. I'm also assuming if you're here already, you know why you should be collecting colostrum. Maybe I'll go into all the benefits in another video, but for now I just want to dive into the 5 tips I have to collect colostrum. Collecting colostrum should be done by hand. First of all, you don't want to be using a pump. So it's just going to be hand expression. You're going to want to make sure you have the right tools on hand for this, which is really only something to collect it in. So they either have these syringes you can buy, which are very, very affordable. I believe mostly they're plastic syringes that come in like 10 or 20 packs. And then they also have these silicone collectors, which is what I'm using and what I recommend. The ones I got are from Mom Cozy. They look like this. I got them on Amazon. They are silicone colostrum collectors, and there's 6 in this box. So they're pre-packaged in these little things, so they're sterilized, ready to go. So you just, when you're ready, you just open each one individually. And they look like this. They're pretty small. And then they have this little small tip at the top you can collect, or you can take this larger part off here and collect, which is what I decided is the best way to do. It's just easier to catch everything. And then it just pops back on. And then when you are done, you just pop this in the freezer. Make sure to label and date it so you know when you collected it. And these are 5 milliliter containers. So it is labeled from 1 to 5 here, so you know exactly how much you collected. So that is my first tip, is to use these silicone collectors. I think they're just easier. They have the bigger mouth to them to collect what your output, and then easy to feed baby with this little top here, and it's just clean and simple, and they are reusable. The next few tips are how to actually optimize your output. When I started trying to collect colostrum, I think I started at 37 weeks and it wasn't working. I was putting out so little, it wasn't really even worth collecting. And I had actually started kind of like leaking around 25 weeks or something, like pretty early. And so it wasn't that I didn't have anything, I just didn't really understand how to do it. Those first couple times I tried, I got so frustrated. I was just like, I felt like defective or something, like I wasn't able to do it. So being stressed like that was actually very counterproductive to the process. So my second tip is to be relaxed. So for me, the best way to do that is to collect right after I take a shower or right after I get up from sleeping. So right after a shower is awesome because you're relaxed in the shower. That hot water has been hitting you and your body, and things are just relaxed, and that will help things flow better. So that would be my recommendation. Otherwise, whenever you're most relaxed, so maybe that's after you take a walk, or get up from a nap, or get up from a really restful night of sleep, wherever you're gonna be most relaxed and at peace, that's when I would try to start collecting. And my third tip on that same vein would be to take breaks in between. So at first, I was really trying to go like from this breast to this breast to this breast, like back and forth, like trying to squeeze every last drop out of there. I feel like I would hit this point where it would just like stop, because it was just like, it was too much at once. So my third suggestion would be to take breaks. So not long breaks, you don't wanna like be sitting there for an hour, but just take, if you're gonna do one, another, and just take a minute to breathe and relax. So you don't wanna do this when you're gonna be rushed to do it. You wanna do this when you have plenty of time. So you're already relaxed and you don't have to be in a rush. And that leads me to my fourth tip, which is maybe during those breaks, do some massaging, like some manual massaging of your breast. And so it's getting things flowing and relaxing you further. This colostrum isn't coming just like right at your nipple, it's coming from your breast. So massaging everything. And then also when you're expressing, don't just be at the nipple either. There's a ton of resources out there, but you don't want to be, you're squeezing from the entire breast. My last tip for collecting colostrum before birth is just don't give up. If you have already tried and gotten almost nothing, I will show you here. I had barely anything my first time. I still put it in the freezer because, you know, it still took me about 30 minutes or so to try to get this amount, but it just seemed like each time I tried and kind of figured out what was working and not working, it would just get a little more and a little more. And now it takes me, it still isn't like, I don't know the average time or anything, but for me it took about maybe 45 minutes the last time to get the 5 milliliters, so it takes some time. Maybe you produce more and it doesn't take that long. Maybe you can let me know in the comments how long it takes everybody, because I have no idea. But it took me about 45 minutes doing all these tips to get the 5 milliliters in one sitting. So I felt really good about that. That's my last few times I've done it. And so I'll probably honestly get rid of the ones that I have that are such a small amount and do some more collecting before I give birth in these last few days. So just don't give up if this is something you want to do for your baby, and just know that it will get easier and it will get better. Not everybody's made the same, and not everybody will have the same experience with this. So I would just say keep at it, take these tips, and I hope they work for you. I hope you get a better output with these and have some more success. And let me know in the comments if this works for you, and also if you have other tips. Wishing everybody a joyful pregnancy and a positive birth. Follow along if you want more information on motherhood, postpartum, as we go through this journey together.